adorable choo, adorable choo.
YouTube, it's your boy, the Memphis XLR, welcoming you back to the 100 Days of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where every day for 100 days, we're dealing with a different deck every single day. Today, everybody, is day 57. We have an interesting challenge for us today. We're taking a look at a yokai-themed zombie deck. Not your standard zombie deck with all Ballardrock and Elder and things of that nature. No, it's a deck based around Japanese, yokai monsters and other such paraphernalia. But no Mayakashis. No, that was a very specific thing with this challenge. No Mayakashis, just other yokai things. So we got ourselves our deck here today. We're going to show off the combos and the wombos, the what do's, what not do's. Have ourselves a good old time sending tons of zombies to the graveyard, summoning out extra zombies, and just a whole bunch of yokai-inspired monsters and creepy dudes aside. So big shout out to Mr. Cloranus Venher, who wanted us to take a look at a yokai-themed deck today. So we're going to be doing so right away. So let's go ahead. If you want the whole deck profile, it's at the end as always. Don't forget to hit up all the good buttons below to help the channel out. And for now, let's just head right into the action and show what this baby can do. Alright everybody, our first opponent, another day and another card game. So with our deck, we do like to go first, but can also just as well go second. You know, it's all just a matter of like what cards we draw into and how much milling and setting stuff to the grave that we can do. And with this hand, I think we can get pretty well started, especially if my opponent does nothing. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry you got a pretty bum hand there. That's rough, man. Alright, let's see what we got here. Let's summon out. We're going to activate Curse of the Turtle. We're going to go ahead and banish ourselves a zombie and send a different zombie to the graveyard. This is going to allow us to just do, well, this is a start to like basic zombie stuff, to be honest. But it's not going to be your standard zombie. You know, we're not doing Ballardrock. We're not doing anything of that. No, nothing like that. No, this is all going to be pure, unadulterated zombies and yokais. We're not going to be doing anything crazy with this. You know, crazy to an extent, but nothing too outlandish. So let's send our Bloom to the graveyard just to deck thin a little bit. And this is going to get me my Shang-Chi. Because it's the same as like with Unizombie. It's just sending more zombies to the graveyard. And that's what we want to do with this deck. It's a lot of milling our cards to the grave. In this case, we'll just send Mizuki. You know, good old Mizuki. That's what we like to do. And I could Foolish, but I think that's fine. You know, my opponent bricked. I don't want to overwhelm him right now. Let's just attack with all our monsters that we have on the board and see where this is going to go. Because if need be, I have a secret tech that I could use in this deck. Okay, what are we up to? We're up against... Ooh, what do these do? What do you call these guys? Some Lightsworn action. Okay, ancient leaf on the side too. All right. Let's see. This card is sent to the graveyard. Send a Lightsworn card from the deck to the grave, except for itself. Okay. I gotta be careful with this. I only have like one card to interrupt my opponent. This could be rough, because now he's got his starter with Raiden, and he's got his dragon. And he's sending Wolf, of course. Okay. So this is some form of Lightsworns. I'm really hoping he goes for Minerva first, like the Synchro Minerva. Because I do have my Ghost Ogre here. Just as a little tech in here. It's kind of yokai-ish. You know, you got the Japanese Oni girl and the... What is this? Oh, it's Baguska. Okay. I probably should have seen that coming. Yeah, just in the off chance I can't out this, I'm going to get rid of Raiden here. Alright, let's see here. Baguska. Baguska. Let me think about this. What big links do I have? I have one. I could also I could summon out other things, but this is like the most optimal thing to do, I think. So let's summon out our Vendread Savior, so I can beat over a Baguska. I just need to All right, only loses attack points. I'm dumb. But I can still send a card to the graveyard, and that's good. So we'll ditch ourselves. What do I want to send to the graveyard in this situation? I'll just send a Mizuki. It's something. I mean, I'll take damage. I'm a dum-dum. I'm a bit of a dum-dum for doing that, but it's okie dokie. Oops. I did an oopsie. Alright, what do we have here? Okay, so Judgmental Dragon is in the hand. That's okay. I'm actually fine with him going for Judgmental Dragon. How many Lightsworns do you have? 3? 3 with the potential for a 4th here. Okay. Alright, now I need to be cautious. I gotta do something here. I have to go for a Nightmare Unicorn. It is literally the only thing in my deck. Sure. Sure thing. I have no problem with that. Alright, let's go ahead and summon forth our Nightmare Unicorn, which is sadly the only thing I have at the moment to, like, beat this thing. And, I mean, normally I wouldn't say the Nightmare Unicorn's like a yokai, but he's kinda, in a way. Let's say he's a yokai in a way. But let's go ahead. We'll finish off this duel here. Very nice of my opponent. You know, I'll give him his rematch, and he's probably going to destroy me, but, you know, that's an off-screen thing. Y'all don't need to worry about that. But let's go ahead and Foolish here, just to show off a little bit more yokai-ness, and we'll send Onoraki to the graveyard. It's a really cool little card. I can just, you know, bring this bird back, and he'll let me draw a card. It's pretty neat. Pretty neat. It is a yokai monster, so let's go ahead. We'll call this first duel a win. Admittedly, my opponent bricked, but, you know, that's not really my fault. So, you know, the deck works like we want it to do. We're just sending zombies to the graveyard. I'm summoning out my yokai monster. So let me get a rematch with this gentleman, and then we'll move on into duel number 2. Alrighty, second opponent. Let's go and do it again. Alrighty, an interesting opening hand for certain. We're up against some version of Crystal Beast. It could be the regular Crystal Beast, the advanced Crystal Beast, a little bit of both. Either way, that could be good or bad, depending on how good this dude's opening hand was, which, you know, he's got the Sacrifice Pegasus. That's never a good thing when you're up against the Crystal Beast. That is their primary start 'em up boy. And I assume that works on the advanced crystals as well, but I don't know. Anyway, my opponent's going to be doing his Crystal Beastie thing, summoning out the Pegasus, and okay. That wasn't too bad. Okay. Okay, I think I can work with this. We're going to start with our Curse of the Turtle. Sorry, Sharon, I don't need you at the moment. Actually, I just realized I forgot to put in the synchro for you, so I'm going to have to fix that after this duel. I cannot believe I forgot to do that. Sometimes you put in the tech and you forgot the thing that it goes with. But it's not a big deal. Plus, I think I can just summon something else with that anyway. You know, I was thinking like Draco Necrocytos, but that works too. Anyway, we're going to summon out Unizombie now and just forget about things we may have forgotten to put in the deck, and we will send another zombie to the graveyard. Make Unizombie bigger, as one tends to do. Where is my glow-up bloom? There he is. You know, I do like to be using this bloom, just for this little simple thing, because, you know, it's too often that you just do this with, like, Balladrock. As much as I like Balladrock at times, it's one of those situations where he just kind of like overwhelms the rest of like zombies can do. You know, it's not ideal. So let's just ditch a Mizuki for now. We'll activate our Pyramid, so my monsters just get a little bit bigger. I probably could have sent Karasu, my Tengu, but I don't think it'll matter too much. Maybe it will, and I'll be doomed. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But we'll just go ahead and attack our opponent and see where this is gonna go. I mean, he'll put the Pegasus in the zone. And then he's going to ditch a card so he doesn't take any damage, as you do. Just trying to set up them crystally dewies. That's what Crystal Beasts are all about, man. They just send them crystally dewies. That's what they're about. Alright, well, that's okay. I can work with this. This I can work with quite well. I'm also trying to whisper right now because I'm hearing all this echo. I had to take everything out of my room to, like, clean it and be ready to paint it and stuff. Haven't had time to put it all back, and now I get all this echo. Hopefully y'all can't hear too much echo, but we'll see. Alright, what are we up against? Cerulean Skyfire. You can also use face down spells. Huh. Okay. Let's see. Negate spell trap effect activated by the opponent. I see. So this is Hamon in here. Alright, where is he? Because you have to get rid of your... Never mind. Okay, well, what was the point of that? I'm not sure. But let's go ahead and do as this deck always wants to do. Just keep sending cards to the graveyard. Just no matter what happens, just keep sending your cards to the graveyard and you will be fine. So let's send our Crow Tengu for later. We're going to activate our Yugioh. This isn't Yugioh. Who is Yugioh? There's a different zombie with that name, but that is not it. But we'll send ourselves another Mizuki. And we're going to send out Mizuki's brother. Good old Gozuki. And now we have our goated trio. All of our graveyard setting up monsters are on the board. So let's go ahead and disc to the grave. I don't think it well, no, we're going to send Onmaraki. So I can revive Onmaraki and get myself another draw. Alright. Looking good. I mean, this is what I want my deck to do. We're summoning out all these zombies. All these yokai-themed guys. I don't know which yokai is which, but... You know, I have yokais on the board. You can't say that I don't. And I can't summon any of my synchros, but that's okay. I don't think I need them. Let's just keep attacking my opponent. I don't think that's going to be quite game, but it's going to be close. Let's see. That'll be down to 3. He's got like 500 life points left. I really wish I had a zombie with burn damage right now. But it's okay. I've got everything on the board. I'm pretty set. I mean, yeah, this dude's playing Crystal Beast. Yeah, he's got a lot of good setup at the moment. Especially if he actually goes for Hamon. Because if he summons Hamon, that's gonna be difficult to deal with. But I think I'm okay. Should I make Vampire Sucker is the question. I suppose it wouldn't hurt. So, we'll send Gozuki and Onmaraki to the graveyard. We'll bring out our Vampire Sucker. And, let's see. I could just summon out a monster now, but that'd be a waste. So, we'll end our turn for now and see where this is going to go. Because my opponent hasn't even done much yet, but don't be fooled. Crystal Beast can do an insane amount of stuff with very little effort. But not in this case. So, we got ourselves another... We're getting a lot of mercy wins today. My first opponent bricked, and now this guy... also bricked. This is not how I want to win, but it is how we're winning tonight. And at least we're getting to show up what the deck's about, you know, so that's a good thing. I'll count that as a spiritual win, if nothing else. But let's go ahead for duel number 3. We might be doing duel 4 at this rate, although I was really hoping to do just 3, so we'll see. Let's go ahead for duel number 3, though, and see what else we can get going. Alright, everybody, it's time for the third opponent of the day, the fight in third and all that good stuff. Our opening hand is a little iffy. Not to say it's a terrible opening hand, but it's not like a good one either. I mean, I've got my Time-Tearing Morganite, which ought to help unclog my hand to a degree, but I've drawn into a Tartarus, which is not a great thing to do. I'd much rather draw into anybody but this dude. Because he's a really interesting boss monster. You'd send this card from your deck to the grave by whatever means. You send everything you have to the graveyard. And then you send a like number of cards your opponents to the graveyard as well. It's really nasty. Especially if I have like a whole bunch of set cards or a bunch of monsters and whatnot. And, you know, monsters can't be chained to this. So that's pretty neat. As it stands, we will end our turn for now. Because I don't have much else. So, we'll see where this is going to go. If I need to, I can still discard Tartarus. It's not an ideal thing to do, but it'll still send a card to the graveyard. So, we're up against some version of Vernusylphs, which could mean a lot of things, to be honest. So, we'll see where it's gonna go. Vernusylphs, which appears to be more or less pure Vernusylphs, if he's gonna actually play the field spell. Alright, get out your Flourishing Hill so I can't destroy with card effects and all whatnot. Man, this would be a really good card to deal with Vernusylphs. Just wipe the board. That would have been pretty neat. So remind me what this does. Banish a Vernusylph, Flowering Buds, Hand of Grave, summon the boss monster. Okay, cool. Cool. So let's go ahead and set our backs to the front. That'll be good here. We'll activate our Zombie again, because that's just what you do. And let's see if he does anything in response to this. No? Good. Alright, send up our globe. Send up our bloom. See where this goes. Where is my Shang-Chi? Indeed. Get the Shang-Chi. I really wish I had more zombies in the graveyard right now. That would have been really good. Because then I could have sent, like, Gozuki to the grave and summoned out more zombies. As it stands, I will send ourselves our Crow Tengu. And I have myself 2 normal summons still. So we'll summon out a Unizombie. And we're going to tribute summon with 1 monster, our boss monster. Which I haven't even been able to mention yet, which is Daidarabochi. He gets 200 attack for every zombie I control. Which doesn't sound like much, but it's totally cool, okay? Let me think about this. Send a card, opponent, send a card on the field of the graveyard. I just don't know what my opponent's playing enough to willy-nilly ditch Tartaros. What is this doing? Infinite Imperm on Daidarabochi. Okay. Seems like a complete waste, but okay. You don't want Daidara to be 3,300. You also want to super poly me. I do have a bunch of darks on the board, so he's probably going for like Starving Venom or something. Or Garura. Okie dokie then. I'm not certain what the point of that was, but okay. Let me think about this. Let me think about that. I mean, that let him get another card is the problem. I think I should just leave it alone for now. We'll see where this is gonna go. I mean, I don't see too much danger at just leaving this alone for now. Because if I just willy-nilly destroy it, he'll get to draw extra cards. And I don't want him to do that if I can help it. So, yeah, Vernusylph the Misting Seedling. Adds another Earth Fairy. Then summons another Earth from the GY. Should probably be the Fairy. What on earth is that? Carbon. Tribute this turn. Let's see. Tribute this normal set card. Add an Earth Fairy from the deck to the hand except for itself. Okie dokie. Very interesting, I suppose. Vernusylph in the full bloom. What is this doing? Banish a Vernusylph and a Flying Buzz from the hand of grave. Summon a Vera from the deck. Okay. I see. The only problem for me at the moment is I can't destroy him with card effects with back to the front. So I might be using this to get back just any old willy-nilly zombie at this point. We'll see where it's gonna go. We'll see. I just really wish I didn't have Tartarus right now. He would have been so much better in my hand. Or my deck, I mean. That's where he's meant to be. Alright, so now you got yourself your trap card. Neato. Now this thing has a lot more effects than I remembered having. Okay. So, Harpy's Feathered Ulster. Okay. I mean, if you're gonna Harpy Feathered Ulster, let's see. Really doesn't matter what I summon. I guess I'll get back Crow Tengu just to have him around. He is part of the whole thing about, like, you know, our Tengus and our Yokais and things. But this is the part where things get a little dicey. Just a little bit. Because unfortunately, Ghost Orca would normally be good for destroying this, but it's not going to work. So, ugh. It's like literally life versus death in this duel. And death is losing. And I don't like that it's losing. Well, it's not good. Alright. I mean, we'll see. I mean, again, only Tartarus was in my deck. It's like the one card I want to stay in my deck, and it didn't stay in my deck. Alright, but that's okay. I mean, I think I might be losing this one. But then again, Vernusylphs aren't really known for their damage output. And this guy's like full on... I mean, if he was smart, he would have put Garura in attack. This still does double damage, so I don't know why he didn't. It's kind of maybe a bit of an oversight. Maybe a bit of an oversight. Let's see here. Alright. Interesting indeed. Let's go ahead and use the Daidarabochi's effect. I can discard Mizuki to get this thing back. That way I'll have a little bit of something. We'll activate our Pyramid of Wonders. And then we'll use Mizuki's effect. to bring back Unizombo, like so. We'll activate Unizombi's effects to discard and increase the level of himself. We'll ditch Tartarus, because then Tartarus will activate, and I can ditch Ghost Ogre and send his card straight to the grave. In this particular case, what do I even want to get rid of? I guess we'll just ditch Vera. I think that works. Unless this does some... Okay, Carbon did something. I don't know what it did. I have no idea what that card is. I think it's one of those old cards that, like, never saw play, but then you could actually use it in a deck like this one. Maybe. But let's go ahead and just keep doing what zombies do. My opponent doesn't want me to do zombie things. No. I will do zombie things as much as I want. Alright, so let's go ahead for Shang-Chi. And let's see here. What do I want to send to the graveyard at this point? Not really much left I can send that's good, but I'll send Almazara. So I have a little bit of protection anyway. So let's go ahead and beat over all of his Vernusylph monsters. Because I don't want them to be on the board. He can keep Zombie for now, that's fine. Unless this guy is straight up playing a level 11 Synchro, I think that's okay. And is there anything... Actually, hold on. Maybe I shouldn't let him have everything he wants to have. We're going to summon out the Flying Merry Ghost Ship. This thing I can go ahead and use to revive Tartarus, because I just remembered you can't revive Darbochi. That's like his biggest weakness. You can't special summon him. But this will allow me to, at the very least, destroy the Unizombie. Because again, I'm not destroying this. He'll get to draw another card. So that worked. That actually worked surprisingly well. Granted, he still has Corolla, but like Garura's on the field and it's not doing him any good. He's got his full Bloom spell, but he's banished his trap, so he can't be doing much with that. So I think we've wrested a bit of control from this duel. I think we're in a good spot. Yeah, he's got Garura, and I'm gonna have to deal with that at some point. Oh balls, it's him again. What does this do? Add an earth. Okay, yeah. Okay, so from what I'm gathering from this dude, place this card on top. Oh, okay. Face up fairy sent to the grave while this card's in the grave. But you can only use one effect per turn. Okay, now everything makes slightly more sense. So you're going to revive. Oh, you're gonna revive the boss, aren't you? Ugh. Well, that's not good. Because now he's just gonna steal my Tartaros. And I don't like that at all. I don't like that one bit. I should have just kept my monsters on the board. I should have just kept everyone nice and pretty, but no, I had to go for Wandering Titan. Just because he's big and tough and cool. Alright, well, I think, yeah, this is gonna be happening. I might be up for some trouble here, because he doesn't need to do anything to steal my stuff. Which is the most annoying part of this. He's just going to keep stealing my monsters and putting flowers and stuff on them. Like, frolicking through a field. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. Also, the Earth Charmer Immovable. Ugh. Why don't you just steal my monster twice, why don't you? Also, I should mention Flying Mary is, like, still here. Literally, it will stay here until the end of this duel. That's just the sad bit of it. Alright, we'll see what we draw into. Man, where's Kasha when you need the darn guy? That's like the one thing, like, I have Kasha. And it's a really good card if I happen to get the right things for it. Let's see. I can just keep getting back Dai Darabochi, I suppose. It's better than nothing. I mean, it's still bigger than these. So we'll see. Because he has the trap to revive whatever he'd like. I can't destroy him with card effects at the moment. This is just going to revive him more stuff every time I do anything. So, I'm pretty sure I've lost this duel, but I'm going to keep soldiering on as I do. And we'll see what comes of it. I mean, I'm going to still do what I'm going to do. I'm not going to just give up. I'm not a giver-upper. It's not what I do. But yeah, Kasha would have been great if I had Zombie World. That would have definitely won me the game. Unfortunately, though, I just don't think I got the materials left to do that with. So, you know, I'll summon out my Daidarabochi, just so he's on the board. He's going to get big because of the Pyramid of Wonders. So that's something. And it's just the fact that, you know, nothing I do can really defeat what my opponent has on the board. So, I still think this is going to be a loss. Regrettably indeed. Because now you special summoned and you're going to return my monster to my hand, right? I believe that's what he's going to do. So that's game right there. Who thought that zombies would have trouble fighting flowers? It's almost like there's a game like that, but what was it called? Alrighty, everybody, so the March of 100 Yokai. It's a weird day today. You know, my first couple opponents break, my last one didn't, you know, so it's a hard thing to call like wins to losses for today. We'll tentatively call it 2-1, which is honestly a lot better than I was ever expecting this deck could possibly do. But sometimes you just get lucky. You honestly just have a little bit of luck on your side, and you get your zombies a rolling and a ronin, and you just do what you want to do. You know? You can just synchro shaman. Yeah, the Charon still works. I can still summon out like a monster. It's just not the monster I was originally planning for, but that's okay. So, thank you very much everyone for watching today's episode. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to smack the like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And, you know, let us know if there's any decks you'd like to see in the 100 Days of Yu-Gi-Oh! We still have a little bit of room left. I'd have to double check my list real quick on that respect. Ignoring that, let's see. 7, 27, 25, roughly 25 spots left. Okay, so there's still room. There's still a lot of room. But yes, thank you for watching, everybody. Here is the deck list in case y'all are curious what sort of weird zombies we're playing in this deck. So for our main deck, our main boss is Daidarabochi, because he's like the most yokai looking thing in the whole deck, and he's just a big old beatstick. We have Wandering Titan of Tartarus, which is honestly more of an Elder Outer Entity looking card, but it is a really nasty card. If you happen to send it to the grave, you can just wipe an opponent's board with this thing, and it's really good against monster heavy decks, especially monster heavy omni negating sort of decks. If you can just convince them that the Foolish Barrel won't hurt them. We have ourselves one Algomazera for protection. We have good old Kasha, which honestly I probably could have put it more of if I wanted to like super focus on Zombie World and using this thing. But I wanted to do like a whole bunch of smorgasbord things. But, you know, Kasha is a really good card if you want to really focus on it and just, you know, blanket bounce everything back into the deck. There's things like Red Ogre as our big old tribute monster. We have our Nine-Tailed Fox for some piercing. We have our Shang-Chi the Spiritao. Very nice card for just sending more cards to the grave. We have our Necroworld Banshee for field spell setup. 2 of Gozuki and Mezuki. Gozuki is just amazing, just once per turn Foolish Burial. And then, of course, Mezuki is non-once per turn revive a zombie by managing itself. We have 1 Samurai Skull as just an additional sending monster to the grave. It's just what you do. And if it does get sent to the grave via card effect of opponents, I can just summon another zombie from the deck. Pretty good. We have Volcarion, the Rotting Phoenix. Nice little level 4 tuner we can summon from the hand. And I can return it to the hand to summon a zombie from my hand. Which, admittedly, there's not a lot of yokai-ish monsters that do good doing that. And I can't do that with Daidarabochi. But I can summon out Red Ogre if I wanted to, or Tartarus if I need to. So, it's a thing. We have things like our Shootin' Doji, which if you're playing a Yokai-themed deck, you don't have Shootin' Doji. I don't know what you're doing. But you have Shootin' Doji in this deck if I just need to happen to draw more cards and just, you know, get back my banished cards like my Mizukis. We have 2 copies of Crow Tengu. Good card for reviving from the grave to pop things. 3 copies of Pyramid Turtle, because it's a nice little thing to float into with Curse of the Ancient Turtle. We have our On Moraki as a little miniature draw engine in the deck. Triple Unit Zombie, because it's a zombie deck. We have ourselves our triple Ghost Ogre as our hand trap in here. 1 copy of Ghost Karen the Underworld Boatman if I happen to do my fusion summon. This is good for bringing out a synchro later in the duel. And then 1 Bloom, just to, you know, cement into the whole Necroworld Banshee thing there. 2 copies of Book of Life, which can easily be at 3 if you feel like it. Just to, you know, revive your zombies, banish your opponent's stuff, pretty good. I went with a couple copies of Time Turn Morganite just to have a little bit of an additional draw into this deck. Because we have a whole lot of mill, but we don't have a lot of draw in this one. But I went with Time Turn Morganite because other than the 1 Ogres that we may or may not use, we don't have any hand effects. We have ourselves our Foolish Barrel, of course. Our Monster Reborn if you just need to, you know, have a standard monster born. If I'm going first, you need to revive something. There you go. 3 copies of Curse of the Ancient Turtle, which is a really nice card. I can banish any of my zombies I have a spare of to send another zombie from my deck to the graveyard. And if a zombie gets destroyed by battle, I can banish this to summon any of my level or my 2,000 or less defense monsters from my deck to the field. It's a really good card. 2 copies Super Poly, just a nice little thing to interrupt my opponent's board, especially under Zombie World. I can summon all sorts of things with this. 1 copy Burial, just in case I want to put my Mizukis back into the grave. Couple Pyramid of Wonders to make my monsters a little bit bigger, a little bit more protection. A couple Zombie Worlds, of course. 3 copies of Enma's Judgment, because 1, it's thematic. 2, it lets me destroy things that get special summoned. And if I have enough zombies, I can just banish 5 of them and summon a big zombie from my hand or my deck. Which is typically either Tartarus or Red Ogre, whichever one you want to do. And then triple back to the front, because you can chain this thing with Crow Tengu to interrupt your opponent, on Rocky to draw more things, or just zombies in general. As for the extra deck, there's things like Draco Necro is our main Super Poly target. Just big old beat stick of this thing. Then of course there's the standard things like Starving Venom and Mud Dragon if you just want generic things. But there's also things like the Duke of Demise. Nice little monster to just have on the board. Gives you additional normal summons. You can also banish it to target a zombie in the grave and get it back to your hand. It's a nice little thing. We have things like our Red-Eyed Zombie Dragon Lord, which can quick effect revive zombies from the graveyard. So really nice combination with Crow Tengu. Things like Skeletal Dragon Felgrand at 2, because it's a nice thing to summon to the board. My opponent special summon to the graveyard, just negate effects and all that good stuff. 1 Red-Eyed Zombie Necro Dragon, we just need to get another synchro on the board and all that good stuff. Lancelot's in here in the very off chance that you can actually make 2 level 8s, which there's a small ability to do this. It's not like major in the deck, which is why we're only playing like 1 Exceed in general, but that's what we have. As for the rest of the extra deck, it's pretty basic things. We have Nightmare Unicorn, SP Little Knight, we have Vampire Sucker plus off of summoning things to the graveyard, Vedred Savior for ditching big monsters, weakening my opponent, what have you, Masquerade to go with the Unicorn, and our Flying Ghost Ship, which is really good in conjunction with like our Red Ogre and our Tartarus to bring them back, pop my opponent's stuff, the works. As for the side deck text, there are little things here and there. I wouldn't recommend a second Tartarus, but it's totally a thing if you want to do it. It's really just a better card to have in the deck, so it's really up to you. We also have things like Despair from the Dark, which is not strictly a yokai, but it looks like one anyway. There's also things like Jack of Milan, Goko, which is more of a fire card in general. A Heavy Knight of the Flame is just a really cool Gemini monster, which can banish any special summon monster that it battles into. There's also things if you want more Gozukis, more Mezukis, all that thing. There's things like the yellow-bellied and red and blue-bellied Onis, which are pretty cool. The only problem is there aren't really a lot of good zombie exceeds that this deck particularly can do, because we're trying to do the whole yokai thing, and there aren't really a lot of good exceeds for that. But if there were, you might want to consider some of these things. There's also other hand traps like the Ghost Reaper as well. Nightmare Horse, which is a funny little tech if you want to attack your opponent directly. Theseus I consider just as like a zombie synchro tuner sort of thing going into that. Just additional text for making additional things. Only another Felgrand, not really. But there's also things like Reincarnating Shamisen Calico if you want a synchro tuner on the board. Things like Zombie Necronize in order to take control of your opponent's stuff. This could also work with like Undead Vampire. There's things like Call of the Mummy to summon out zombies from the hand for free. And then there's Dracocytos, which is really the thing that combos best with Boatman, but I forgot it because I'm a silly person. So that's the deck, everybody. I hope you did enjoy. I know today was a bit of a weird mix of duels, but we got to show off the deck what we wanted to show out, and we made ourselves a good old-fashioned yokai deck, so I'm happy with it. So tomorrow, I believe we're playing Flower Princesses via the Discord. Yeah, we're going to be playing some Flower Princesses and some roses on top. So that's going to be for tomorrow. Till next time, everybody, y'all stay safe and happy. And I'm going to take this thing off finally so my head stops hurting. Because, oh, wait. I think it's the hat. This looks like a size too small. But yes, thanks for watching, everybody. Till tomorrow, y'all stay safe and happy. And you have a good one. Take care.